GLD ePortfolio Key Insight Graphic Organizer activity. Step 1. Setup. Once you've made connections between your experiences within and beyond the classroom, you can now dive deeper and think about what these connections mean. Download and open the file titled Key Insight Brainstorming Graphic Organizer. This is the second of 2 activities that will help you draft your Key Insight essays. While the matching activity was focused on brainstorming, this activity is focused on outlining a single key insight. You'll want to do this activity for each of your 3 key insights. To begin, look back at your matching activity and choose just one of the matches that you've made from section 3. On this sheet, WTC stands for within the classroom and BTC stands for beyond the classroom. Copy your within the classroom and beyond the classroom experiences into the top 2 boxes of the graphic organizer. Each of these boxes will become at least a paragraph in your Key Insight essay. There's extra room provided in each box for you to add more context in each of these. As we progress through exploring each box, feel free to pause the video as you further describe your experiences and connections. Each slide in this video will offer you many questions to help guide your brainstorming so that your key insight includes necessary details about your experiences and why they're important to you. Step 2. Within the classroom. Consider answering the following questions about your within the classroom learning. What happened during this course or experience? What did you learn? This is a great place to incorporate, identify, and explain a concept, theory, or framework that you learned in this class. Be sure to describe it thoroughly as if your reader knows nothing about it. Finally, what did you or your group accomplish during the course or experience? Step 3. Beyond the classroom. Now consider answering the following questions about your beyond the classroom experience. When and where did this experience take place? What did you do? In other words, what were your specific responsibilities and role? How did you feel while being involved in this experience? What were your reactions to this experience as it was happening or even after the fact? Were there any surprises or important lessons from this experience? Step 4. Connections. Now we're going to focus on the bottom left box labeled Connections. This box will become at least another paragraph of your key insight and should be the focus of your essay. Here, you'll think more critically and deeply about why you made the match between your course and experience. So consider answering the following questions. What was the point in participating in this? Or what was the intended outcome? From your perspective, why did you do or learn these specific things in class or in your experience? Can you think of a specific example of when you noticed your within the classroom or beyond the classroom learning coming together? Did you have a light bulb moment or an aha moment? How did you apply what you learned in your course to your beyond the classroom experience, or vice versa? How might it have been different in another context, either in another location or in another field or major, or in a different time or experience altogether? What questions were raised for you as a student in your major or field? Do you have more questions as a result of these experiences? You certainly don't have to address all of the questions in this box. So trust yourself and what feels right to you to share about your unique experience. It can feel challenging to address this part of a key insight essay, but you've got this, absolutely. And if you ever feel stuck, you can try and revisit the main purpose of a key insight essay, which is really to explore and explain why this is important to you and how you're different because of it. You can pause the video here as you consider these questions and further examine the connections that you've made. Step 5. Key Insight. Now we'll focus on the bottom right box labeled Key Insight. This is where you'll articulate your learning, you'll acknowledge how you've grown, how you've been transformed, or how you've been changed. So let's think about this overarching lesson or takeaway you've gained from your experiences and connection. through answering some of the following questions. Why is this connection important to you? What did you learn about yourself or the world around you? How did your experiences change your way of thinking or behavior? How did your perspective about your field, your values, and the world change? How will you use this information moving forward, either personally or professionally? In other words, what are you going to do with this knowledge? The answer to these questions is the thesis statement of your key insight essay. It may likely be a part of the conclusion paragraph of your key insight essay, but it can also help you craft the introductory paragraph of your key insight as well. Here are some key insight thesis statement examples. For example, understanding cultural differences is important to effective communication because it can help build relationships and avoid misunderstandings or offense. Adaptive leadership creates better teams because it adjusts to and shows appreciation for individual strengths to accomplish a common goal. And finally, advocacy requires evidence and compelling communication to get buy-in from decision makers. The final step is step 6, which is brainstorming artifacts. So this is the last thing that you have to include in a key insight. And for more information on this final box of the graphic organizer, you can watch the video titled Artifacts and then come back and fill in your ideas. And then once you've done that, you're ready to translate your key insight into a full draft. So remember that you can watch this video multiple times to help you with all of your key insight essays. As you draft, you can also use the key insight section of the ePortfolio content guide to help you if you get stuck.